My name is Kevin Williams, and I would like to talk about assisted suicide. To start off with, I would like to talk about Diana Pretty. She's a young mother of two, a loving wife, and she was diagnosed with a motor neuron disease, leaving her muscles deteriorated. She was unable to perform the basic necessities of life of eating, drinking, moving, speaking, or performing personal cares. After much deliberation, Diana and her husband came to the conclusion that it was better to go assisted suicide than letting their kids see her decline in such a dramatic way. Denied this opportunity, Diana was later arised with the complications of breathing, and she passed away of May of 2002. In 2015, there was a survey taken from the Northwest that 77% of college graduates feel that physicians should be able to assist in euthanasia. We need to talk about this because it is an uncomfortable conversation, but the more we talk about it, it will cause more introduction to more options than just drugging them and bringing to light that assisted suicide might be the better option. My purpose today is to educate about physician-assisted suicide. So if unfortunately the situation does arise, that you have more options than just what is given from a syringe. To start off with, I would like to talk about assisted suicide. Most times a terminal illness, the person has up to 6 months to live. So this causes them to look more into what dying is, and we really cannot tell what it's like dying. All the views of death are from family, friends, or healthcare workers. James Hallenbach, a palliative care specialist from Stanford University, says, "Dying is like a black hole. We can see the effects of the black hole, but it's extremely difficult, if not impossible, to look inside." The experience with death is pretty common with most of healthcare workers. My experience with it as a healthcare worker is that majority of my residents, when they did get close to passing, they all had one thing in common, is saying that it was rough going through the end of life process and that they were tired and they were just ready to go on to the next life or just pass away or go whatever they believed in too. And it was extremely hard seeing them go through that process because you build a love for the people you care for, and it's just hard because they don't have that option of just ending it an easier way. Instead, they have to go a more painful way. One of the main arguments against assisted suicide is that just the ignorance or abandonment of treatment, but that's not always an option. There was Brittany Maynard. She was a 29-year-old female with an incurable brain tumor. They kept telling her that there is that option of treatment, that slight sliver of a chance that she might live. But Brittany knew better, and she didn't want to go through the treatment process because she felt that would destroy the little time she had left. Brittany later on talked about how it is a better option, having that option of assisted suicide, not letting that illness beat her. And now that we know that problem, I would like to discuss how we can make that problem a little better. I think the most clear solution is making this a federal law. By us making this a federal law, it will make it easier for at-home services of physician-assisted suicide. And this would cause just a better way of going about it, because talking about physician-assisted suicide in home is more comfortable because it's a more comfortable surrounding. In the legal states, it was shown that it improved medical care for patients, even if they don't take advantage of it, because it's that more options given to that patient. The director of UCLA Ethics Center, Dr. Neil Hanger, said, "It really created a new standard of how we ought to be helping people at the end of life." This law improved what these patients received in the tiniest of ways, that they were not limited in the options and that they were given that opportunity where they were given the choice and not of what the illness or disease was choosing. Brittany Maynard said, "I can't even tell you the amount of relief that it provides me to know that I don't have to die the way it's described to me, that my brain tumor would take me on its own." The only action that can be taken is to build your own opinion about assisted suicide. Physician-assisted suicide is something that is scary to talk about, and it is perceived that it's perceived to be such a negative thing. But if everyone takes 5 minutes to look up more about physician-assisted suicide, there would be less awkward conversation or less negative connotations following it. The assisted suicide topic is a difficult one to talk about, but let's face the fact, acknowledge that death is unavoidable, and we don't want family or friends to have to suffer. Diana Pretty was a smart young mother that had given the option a lot of thought. She did not want to suffer anymore. Brittany Maynard was a free spirit that didn't want to waste her time trying to manage the unbeatable. Physician-assisted suicide is something that should not be dismissed so easily and needs to be talked about even more in today's age. Thank you for listening and have a good day.